What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video. Here we are with Are We Exclusive? Dating Differences USA versus Germany from our girl Feli from Germany. I absolutely love her videos. She just seems like an incredible person. But what is dating like in Germany? I know about the US. It's time to find out what dating like in Germany and the differences that y'all have with the US. Before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You don't subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me, human. I'll talk back. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got, Miss Felicia?
Is dating an American a lot different than dating a German? A lot of people keep asking me this, and here is my answer. Hello, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Felicia. I'm currently in my home country, Germany, in Munich to be exact. I have spent about a year in total in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm going to go back there for another year starting in August. First of all, I want to say thank you for over 1,000 subscribers. I'm really glad.
This was, she was just popping off. Just getting to 1,000 subscribers, so this video is, as you can tell, is much older because she's blown up.
I want to say thank you for over 1,000 subscribers. I'm really glad that so many of you guys enjoy my videos and support what I'm doing, so please keep subscribing, keep leaving me comments, and let me know if you have any suggestions for new video topics. This one has been requested a few times as well in the comments and also by some of my friends. Dating. How is dating different in Germany and in America? Is there even a difference? Are German guys a lot more reserved than American guys? And how is it to date an American that is superficial and shallow and will make you all the compliments in the world but not really mean them? As someone who has dated both German and American guys, I think I can at least give you a little insight in this topic and share my personal experiences of the dating life as a heterosexual girl with you. But obviously not all Germans and not all Americans are the same, so you guys might have had experiences that were completely different from what I'm going to share with you. So I think I'll just start from the very beginning when two people meet. In my experience, when you're out in a bar or in a club or somewhere, it's very striking that American guys approach girls a lot more than German guys do.
Really?
And I think this probably has to do with how outgoing most Americans are, not only the guys. I have talked about this before in my video on small talk. Germans just have a higher threshold of sharing personal information with others. So even in a bar or a club, it's not very common to approach a stranger, especially when they're with a group of friends. I think Germans usually like to wait for the right moment or have an actual reason to approach you. Americans, on the other hand, like to just walk up to you and flat out ask you for your phone number or just make you a compliment. So this is the first difference.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no time like the present. Ain't no time like the present. I've never been one of those guys to walk up. I don't know. I feel like it was more of a confidence thing. I guess I just wasn't as confident, so I've never been the type of guy to just like walk up to the girl at a club or a bar or anywhere and ask for the number. Like, that was a fear. I did it a couple of times. My heart was racing. It was a fear. But yeah, a lot of American guys, like, the fear, they have gotten rid of the fear, where the confidence is just there, whether you get rejected or not. I mean, the worst you can do is say no. That's about it. But I like this. This is
flat out ask you for your phone number or just make you a compliment. So this is the first difference that I've observed, that in general, when Americans are out, they hit more on people and interact more with others than Germans do. Now let's go to the next stage, going on a date. In America, it seems like there are certain rules and certain routines that a lot of people like to follow when it comes to dating.
Talk to me.
This is what it's supposed to be like, these are the rules, this is how we do it. Germans, on the other hand, seem to be a lot more individual with this. Dating in Germany is something that is based a lot on communication, and there are no set rules that suggest at what point in time someone is supposed to make the next step or something. But let's just start with with the first date. So on a typical first date in America, the guy will usually pick up the girl at her place, often in his car, and then they will drive together to the restaurant or the movie theater, depending on what they're doing. The guy will usually pay for everything, or at least most of it, hold the door for her, make her compliments, and at the end of the night, bring her back to her place. And this is when she can ask him to come inside if she wants to, which is a scene that exists in almost every teen movie.
Yeah, she got it about down. She about got it right. I don't have any more to say. She about got it on that.
Is a scene that exists in almost every teen movie. So overall, this is the norm of how a first date will happen in America. And of course, there are always exceptions, but there are certain expectations established. And another big difference is that chivalry seems to play a really big role on dates in America. As a German girl, you might enjoy that a lot, or maybe you don't like it and even feel a little patronized by it. In Germany, I feel like women are seen more as equals when it comes to dating, and there aren't any set rules for how a first date is supposed to be like. Usually people meet up right at the location, so at the bar, restaurant, movie theater, depending on what they're doing. And the guy will usually be a little bit more reserved and not make as many compliments as an American guy would. But as we know it from Germans, when they do make a compliment, it's very likely that they actually mean every single word they say. And then at the end of the day, they will just say goodbye at the location itself, or maybe at the subway station or the parking lot, whatever makes sense. And the guy might pay for the girl, but it's also very common to just split the check. And I know that a lot of Americans consider this super rude for a guy not to pay the check on a first date. And some Germans do too. But there are also a lot of German girls that actually prefer it that way because it doesn't give them the feeling that they owe anything to the guy. Then after the first date, I have made the experience that people in America often start playing games with each other. Actually,
yeah, before you get into that, you ain't lying on that. But yeah, when you talk about splitting the check, when you split the check, it gives you that feeling of like, hey, I don't owe you things, I don't owe you anything, you don't owe me anything. This was just basically just get to know each other. It's been a good time. But yeah, on first dates, I usually pay the check just because I asked her out, and that's usually the norm. Like she said, she's so right. Like as an American, you just you got these routines and almost like these rules when it comes to dating, and so it's usually the norm, and it's just tradition, and that's why I do it. When I really when I really think about it, that's why I do it. That's crazy to think, but I feel like as she said, we're more social. On dates you're less reserved because you don't want to come off as like a shy, reserved guy, like because then you want to seem like a guy who can communicate. You don't seem like a guy who can communicate, so she's not bored or she's not trying to like carry a conversation or there's not a lot of awkward silences there, and so I understand that. But however you date, that's however you date. Whatever floats your boat. Everybody got a different way of doing things. And one way is not any way is wrong, not any way is right. It just depends on the individual or the two individuals that are dating. Keep it going. I'm liking this.
That people in America often start playing games with each other. Actually, they sometimes start before that, even after they have gotten someone's number. So they will take a few days until they reach out to the other person again. They'll try and make themselves rare, even when they really like the other person. Playing games is something that Germans do too, obviously, but in America I feel like it's something that is a little more common, if you will. Yeah. After that, if both people are interested, there will be a second date and then a third date, and you're supposed to wait at least until the third date until you sleep together. After that,
wait, at least you keep going, Feli. Keep Alicia. Yeah, those are the norms of dating. Yeah, and so like she said, there are exceptions and stuff, but norms. That's basically what it is. The unwritten rules.
To wait at least until the third date until you sleep together. After that, when you keep going on dates with each other, it doesn't automatically mean that you're dating, that you're boyfriend and girlfriend. The way I've experienced it in America is that it's usually okay for both people to also go on dates with others or talk to others at the same time until you have had the talk and decided to be exclusive.
That makes
and
sense.
this seems to be a very important step in America because this is when you put labels on it. This is when you decide to be boyfriend and girlfriend. And a lot of Americans my age seem to be really scared of this step because it's like, oh my god, until now I was allowed to act like an asshole and now suddenly all of my freedom is gone.
Yeah. I love her because she understands it so well. She gets it. It's the commitment part is the toughest part because it's like before you were free. I wouldn't say act like an a-hole, but I do understand why she says that. But it's like you just had all of this freedom to go out and do whatever you want, hang out with whoever you want, go to all these parties with whoever you want, all of these things, however you wanted to do. But now that you're in a relationship, you want to make sure that you're not like the other person isn't uncomfortable with all the things that you're doing. You want to make sure they're comfortable with everything that you're doing. And there's certain things like if I was dating a girl like who partied a lot, like that's not really for me. Like I don't want you going out and partying all the time. You feel me? That and no, you could choose who you want to date, and if that's unacceptable for you, then like, just don't date that person. But I understand what she's saying when she says that is what I meant to say. I don't know why I dragged it out.
How to act like an asshole and now suddenly all of my freedom is gone. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but to me, it just seems like there are these two big groups amongst young Americans. On the one side, there are the ones that get married in their early 20s. They love commitment. A lot of them are religious too. And then on the other side, there are the ones that are really, really scared of commitment until they're, let's say, over 30 and ready to settle down. And in my personal experience, I feel like this is a little different in Germany. I mean, of course, there are people that are not super into commitment, but I feel like there are less young people that are that scared of relationships. A lot of my friends here in Germany are in long-term relationships, but that doesn't always mean that they're going to get married to that partner. I feel like it's very common here to have several serious long-term relationships until you find the one that you want to get married to, if you want to get married at all, and maybe start a family with. And I personally haven't met a whole lot of people my age in America that are in, I'm gonna say, normal long-term relationships, which means in a relationship without being engaged to that partner or married or having a kid already. And I'm not saying that German young people do it better than Americans or Americans do it better than Germans, but it's just a difference that I've noticed. Also in Germany, as I said before, there aren't nearly as many rules for dating as there are in America. I feel like here dating is just a very individual thing. Not everyone goes through any specific dating routines, and a lot of the couples I know have never actually been on a formal first date. You just do what works for the two of you. A big difference though is that, at least in my experience, as soon as you start spending time with a person in a romantic way, you're not supposed to see anyone else at the same time.
I respect
You're
that.
automatically expecting from the other person that they're monogamous with you, even when you haven't had the talk yet and decided that you're exclusive. It's quite the contrary actually, because I would say that you're supposed to have a talk when you don't want to be monogamous yet, in order to let the other person know and see if they're okay with it. I think that a lot of Germans grow up with a rather sophisticated image of relationships. A lot of people here will tell you that friendships and relationships are only as good as the communication is. Every relationship is different, and it won't get you anywhere unless you and your partner talk about what you want from the relationship and talk out any conflicts there might be. If your partner really wants to be with you, they'll always try to understand your point of view and you'll find a compromise together. At least this is the relationship image that I grew up with.
That's
and
facts.
I mean, maybe this works a little better in Germany because Germans in general are just very honest and direct with what they want. In America, I've experienced...
Hey man, hey, she understands dating in America so well, and then her giving me a German perspective that I hadn't had, like, I respect that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be honest, be straightforward about what you want. And then, are you ready for commitment? Are you ready for a long-term relationship? If you know you're not ready, let that person know you're not ready for commitment. Like, because it's just gonna end up bad on the both of you. Man, I really respect this. She really giving me some insight on this video. Germans, y'all do dating very well, and I love that y'all kind of grow up with a mature perspective of relationships. I rock with that. Whereas over here, I feel like, it's like you're being told almost. There, like she said, there are a big group of the young generation that get married young, and a big group that's afraid of commitment. It's like you're told, like, have your fun. And I feel like I did need to go through. Like, when I was in college, it was like, have fun, have a good time, like love being you're like alone, being single. But then once you are ready for a commitment, I feel like it's just a completely different rock that you're turning over. It takes a little bit to get used to, but you see the benefits of being of commitment as well. So I say everybody's individual. Do what works for you.
And I mean, maybe this works a little better in Germany because Germans in general are just very honest and direct with what they want. In America, I've experienced this a few times, that a friend of mine was talking about this guy she was seeing because she didn't really know what he wanted and where she was standing with him. And then when I suggested to just ask him, she would say that he'll only tell her what he thinks she wants to hear, but not what he actually wants. As I said, a lot of people in America seem to think that they have to play games, that they have to play along because this is just how it works. To me, this was a little weird in the beginning because I feel like it just makes things more complicated than they have to be.
Facts.
But I'm convinced that there are several cultural factors that play a role in why Americans do this. And I'm not trying to say that German relationships are perfect in any way, but I just feel like in Germany it tends to go a little bit more into this mature, communication-based and realistic direction. And all these things, the set rules and the expectations, the games in America versus the rather direct and honest Germans that like to communicate a lot, are the reason why I personally think that dating in Germany is a little easier and a little less complicated than it is in America. At least for me. In America, I feel like a lot of people have this perfect, idealistic, romantic image of a relationship that doesn't mean anything but love. They like to follow the rules, and if things don't work out at the first try, a lot of them give up. Again, I'm exaggerating here, and obviously there are lots of Americans who are more realistic than that and who communicate with their partners a lot, but this is just the overall trend I've observed. And since I'm already talking about these idealistic images in America, I'd like to mention sex education very quick as well. Most of you guys probably know that Germans are very liberal when it comes to sex and nudity, and that in America, sex is a very sensitive topic overall. And being in America, I was a little shocked about how bad sex education seems to be in some places. Not only do some schools address this topic relatively late, sometimes not until the 8th or 9th grade, but also apparently some schools actually teach their students that the only way to have safe sex is abstinence. I've heard stories of friends of mine who told me that their sex education in school was mostly their teachers showing them some deterrent pictures of STDs. And I know it's not like that everywhere in the States, but just the fact that people my age have had sex education on such a low level really shocked me, and I think that America needs to catch up here a little.
I agree. I think it just, like she said, they show you those pictures and they tell you not to have sex to try to kind of delay you from being sexually active, which I feel like kind of backfires because, I mean, hormones are a thing. So once these hormones start going and these kids start feeling these hormones and start getting together at a younger age, but they're not being taught like proper sex education, then it's like it's more dangerous that way because they're gonna have sex. Like, let's face it. let's face it, they're gonna have sex. So I feel like it is definitely important for them to get sex education at an earlier age. And I'm not saying like elementary, but like at a pretty early age before they start having sex, just so they can have safe sex. You feel me? If you're gonna do it, be safe about it. But I completely agree with her.
Such a low level really shocked me, and I think that America needs to catch up here a little. In Germany, most schools do sex education in 5th grade, and they usually teach the kids how to use contraception, and they definitely don't demonize sex in general. And there's also a very popular weekly teens magazine here in Germany called Bravo that has a small section on sex education as well, and it teaches kids that sex is something natural, tells them about different ways of contraception and different ways to approach sex, and also conveys the message that they should never do anything they're not ready for, and that sex is definitely not a competition. And after hearing all these stories from my friends in America, I'm actually very thankful that we have such a good sex education here in Germany in the schools, and also have this magazine, because I feel like a lot of people here are very educated when it comes to contraception or STDs or other sexual related topics. So I know this video wasn't supposed to be about sex education, but I think that this definitely has a connection to the whole dating topic, especially when it comes to young people who first start going on dates. So to come back to the dating topic and to sum this all up, I personally do think that there are a lot of differences between dating in Germany and dating in America, especially when it comes to all these rules and expectations. I personally think that it sometimes makes it more complicated in America, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I've also enjoyed a lot of these things in America, all these romantic gestures and the chivalry, being picked up at home, getting tons of compliments. So yeah, it can be nice too. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
We did.
Despite, or maybe because of the sex part, I mean, sex sells, right? Definitely leave me a comment to share your personal experiences. Let me know if you'd be interested in a video on sexuality in Germany versus America. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you like what I do, and I hope I'll see you next time. Cheers!
I love that. She's such a dope person. Radiates light. I feel like she just radiates joy, and that's super dope. But this video right here, I absolutely loved it. And I don't know how long she been dating American guys, but she basically got it down to a science. She basically explained it perfectly, is what I'm gonna say. She explained dating in America almost perfectly. And like she said, there are exceptions. There are a lot of people who do different, but majority in general, she got it right. I don't know about dating in Germany. I'm going to assume she got that right too. And I agree that you should be honest. You should be able to communicate and just be direct and let that person know exactly what you want, so they're not sitting at home wondering, does he like me, or are we exclusive? And you know what I'm saying? So they don't have to wonder these things. Let that person know. That's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon all up top. You can subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy D Neal. Out.